what is it, 39, 40, not sure. I did a lot of shopping today, thrifting, that kind of thing. And I have a lot to show y'all. I just got back from the grocery store as well because I might be going to Charlotte tomorrow for an NFL game. Fun, right? I'll show y'all everything I got. So we're gonna start with what I got at the grocery store just because that's what I just unpacked. But I got this magazine on the Queen, on her passing. I'm hoping they do one with Us magazine because that's the one I have on Prince Philip. And yeah, this is just People magazine in general. Like there's, I mean, Tom Brady's in here, and obviously Tom Brady, but that's awkward. This is before when this scandal came out about Adam Levine. I feel bad for I don't remember how to say her name, but obviously she is Goals. People magazine. And then this one is, I don't know what this one is in honor of her passing. Yeah, this is just a platinum jubilee one. So this was for her 70 years on the throne. This isn't one like in honor of her death or whatever. Let's get into things that I thrifted. So I got Jane Fonda's book because this is one that I've actually been wanting to read. And oh, it comes with the audiobook as well, which I don't have a CD player, but for when this was published, obviously CDs were were what people listen to audiobooks on. And I mean, some people still do, like old people. I'm trying to see what year this was published. This has been a book I've been wanting to read, so to see it at Goodwill, that's where I got it, was this was published in 2005. So then at the Nook, which I've talked about them before, and I will leave a link to their website. I don't know if you can buy online from them, but just if you guys are ever in the area and want to check out an indie bookstore. So this is Flight 232 by Lawrence Gonzalez. So a story of disaster and survival. So I got this for $6.97. Sorry, I don't know what the Goodwill prices were. This was a plane crash, United, McDonnell Douglas DC-10 in 1989, and this is one of the many crashes of the DC-10. They don't fly them commercially anymore. They do fly them on cargo flights now, but FedEx is the main one that uses them, and maybe some European ones, but I know FedEx for a fact. One of the plane crashes, I got that plane out of here. Then I have not read the second book in this trilogy yet, but I know I'm going to read the whole trilogy because I loved the first book. It was a 5-star. And so this is book 3 of the Century Trilogy, Edge of Eternity. I don't have a large copy of the second book yet because Barnes & Noble only sells the mass market paperbacks. Because again, this is an older book. Let me see when it was published. I'm going to say like the 90s. 2014, I was way off. But it starts out, I have a vlog, a reading experience. It was my ebook in March. And so it starts out, Fall of Giants is the first book, a lot of events. So in England, we have characters who are in Wales, and this is when the Labour Party was really becoming a thing, is to help the coal miner people in Wales get rights for them. And because if you don't know, in Wales, there's been a lot of disasters, mining disasters, and you see that in the book. Then we have women's suffrage in the UK, that happening, obviously the war. And then we have Russian characters with the Russian Revolution that really took place after the First World War. And then characters immigrating from Russia to the United States. A lot of that happened in that time period. And that's really, they go to Buffalo, and it's really like mob kind of related, which is interesting to read. And it seemed like it's going to go into getting liquor from Canada, bringing it into the States. But then there's also German characters, because there's Washington, D.C. plots. And obviously the other side would be plots in Berlin. We see the fall of the German monarchy or Prussian monarchy. Just very interesting, a lot of things. And it looks like the series is going to end in the 60s. I see Vietnam on the cover and one of the Apollos, and then we have the White House. I saw 1960s, but I didn't want to read too much into the description because I want it to be a surprise going in. But then let me show y'all the like random stuff that we got. So this reminded me of a Webkinz. It's not a Webkinz, but it's like that same material. It's just a little fish. Then we have this. You can use it as a sign, yeah, or you can even put it on a door. but this was for 99 cents, and it just says Happy Halloween as a ghost with some bats. Then this is a little piggy bank, and I just thought he was so cute. This little teddy bear piggy bank, he was 99 cents again. And then this is a candle holder, but really you can use it for anything. And he was for 59 cents, but Santa Claus. And then I got these two bunnies. They are a couple, so I had to get them both. I didn't want to split them up. Well, both for $1.99. He is missing an ear, but I think the imperfections just make them even cooler. Oh, there are bugs or something on that, so I have to wipe that off. It looks like it was stored maybe in a garage or something. But that is everything I got thrifting and going to the indie bookstore today. We are back to to camera footage. What am I even talking about? We are doing my reading update now. I finished all of the books that have been featured in other vlogs. New books here today that I have not discussed on the channel yet. The mood read, which will be the book we read today, or at least one of the books, the book that we're going to be reading for the majority of today and maybe tomorrow. I really don't know how tomorrow's schedule is going to look, because as I said, I am going to an NFL game tomorrow. I have to leave my house at like 9 in the morning. It's about, or 9:30. It's about a 2-hour drive. I'm kind of nervous, but I saw the weather report. The high is 79 and the low is 59, and it's supposed to be 73 at kickoff. 73 degrees Fahrenheit. That made me feel a lot better, knowing that I'm not going to be sitting in like 90-degree weather. Or one of the last sporting events I went to, or not one of the last, but one of the ones I went to this year, I got snowed on, so I will take 73 degrees. Is Calvino, or Invisible Cities by Calvino, he was born in Cuba, raised in Italy, so therefore the book is translated from Italian by William something. Yeah, William Weaver. This man translates like every Italian book I own. Not really, I don't remember who translated the Medici books up there. This is a classic. It's a short story collection, not in a typical sense, I would say. The writing in here is fantastic, and just the way it describes like traveling and all of that. Let me see if I can find this quote, because I am not annotating this book because it is a mood read for me. So this is one that I thought was really good. So it says, arriving at each new city, the traveler finds again a past of his that he did not know he had. The foreignness of what you no longer are, or no longer possess, lies and wait for you in foreign, unpossessed places. I just really like that quote. But yeah, writing in here is great. Definitely gonna check out more of Calvino's works. But what this one is about, we have Marco Polo is sitting with the Kublai Khan and telling him about his travels all across Kublai's, not kingdom, his empire, the Mongol Empire. So if you've seen the show Marco Polo, you might like this. I have seen a few episodes and I would like to get back into it. It's been like 5 years, so I'd be starting all over. And again, this is an Italian classic. It was originally published in the 1970s. I'm going to get back into reading this, and I am starting today on like section 3, I don't know what to call it, which is starting on page 43. I'm so disappointed in myself. So first we'll start with Saturday. I didn't film anything after the rocket launch. It was SpaceX, by the way. Falcon 9, I think is like the thing it's called, but I'm not sure. So I ended up reading 104 pages yesterday. I'm enjoying what I'm reading, or I'm enjoying the writing. There's some parts where I get confused, where I'm not sure when this takes place, because there are only 2 characters other than the cities, because I feel like the cities could be characters in themselves, are Kublai Khan and Marco Polo, who were around in medieval times. And then we have mentions of suburbs, airplanes, and I'm like, when is this? Like, airplanes didn't exist back in 1245 or whenever. Kind of confused. But as you can tell, I'm not in Charlotte. I did not end up going to the NFL game. I'm really disappointed I'm not disappointed in myself, I'm disappointed in the anxiety, or I'm mad at the anxiety. I wasn't even anxious, I didn't feel like going, and I cried. After my dad left, I cried for like 30 to 45 minutes because I'm just mad. Like, I wish I was able to go, but I just felt like I couldn't go. And sometimes those, you have to listen to your gut. Like, when I was gonna go to Disney in December of 2019, and literally the day before I had what I think it was an ovarian cyst rupture. I vlogged it. It was during Vlogmas. And I'm like, if I had ended up going to Disney, what if I would have got COVID? And that would be a whole thing in itself. So I feel like things do happen for reasons, but it's still like, I feel like I'm missing out on something. And I do have season tickets, so it's not like I can go again. And it's just against the Saints. So it's just a pretty irrelevant game out of the games today. So it's not the end of the world, but still, I wish I could have done that. Like, the thing is, for me, it's the 2-hour drive. If it was only I wish things could be in my own town, because driving 2 hours and then 2 hours back, that is a lot. And and then being at the game for or football games, like 2 hours, like that is a lot of time to give away. That's 6 hours of your time. And honestly, that's a lot and football is not even it's my least favorite sport anyway. And I just feel like venting, because I told like everyone I know that I'm going to an NFL game this weekend, and it's like, I don't want to be like, oh, I didn't go, and then be like, I just didn't feel like going. There's so much more to I didn't feel like going, because people must be like, oh, she's wasting her money. She's like, I don't know what word, like, people will judge me, and I shouldn't care what people think, but still, I've talked about before, as humans, you do care. Or we do care, because I am human. I'm not an alien. I'm not a cyborg. I'm not a robot. Don't worry. So we are going to get into reading, start on page, I think 146. 146 in here. Yeah, I didn't get finished in here because I did go to bed early because I thought I was going on a 2-hour drive in the morning. I just finished Invisible Cities by Calvino. So I read 19 pages today, which I know isn't that much, but we're still going to read more today. Again, I really enjoyed the writing. Beautiful quotes. Definitely, I'm going to have to reread this and annotate it one day. And this is one that you could totally read in one sitting. I personally just didn't want to do that. I'm still new to short stories, and that's why I'm not going to give a star rating, and I'm not writing like a really in-depth review, because this is something that I am getting more comfortable with my feelings towards short story collections. And I think next year in 2023 is when I will start writing reviews and giving star ratings to short story collections. This would probably be a 4 out of 5 though, if you are curious. So I definitely highly recommend it. I think it's perfect if you're someone who loves to travel, are just fascinated by travel, and especially in older times, because we don't really think of tourism as a thing in the past, which, I mean, it obviously wasn't a massive like industry like it is today, but there were a few people like Marco Polo who were traveling around the world. Now, I do need to do more research on Kublai Khan and Marco Polo. I don't know a ton. I just know the very basics. And as I said, I watched a few episodes of the show, but obviously a show is probably heavily fictionalized. That show is in a different language as well. I don't remember which language, but I love when things are like in Outlander. In season 2 of Outlander, they're in France, so the characters are speaking French. It's satisfying. Because one thing I hate about period dramas is, we'll use Medici as an example for this one. The show is set in Italy, but they have British accents. Now, I know it's so the American viewer or whoever has an easier time understanding them, but I'm like, no, let people be ignorant. I want to hear it how it was meant to be done. Like, if I'm watching a period drama like the Medicis, we're speaking Italian, Latin, all that kind of thing. Back in the day, that's how I want to hear it. As I said, great writing. But I'm still confused by some things, because as I told y'all, like, airplanes were mentioned, and obviously airplanes weren't around when Marco Polo was around. San Francisco is mentioned, and New York, which obviously weren't called that back then. They were just where Native Americans were. I am kind of confused, and that's the only reason why I wouldn't give this a 5-star, but I really enjoyed it otherwise. And we will be starting another book at 9. About to start a new book, and that is Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. So this is one of the books that was on the long list for the book of the year. with book of the month. And this is going to be my mood read this week. Charmaine Wilkerson's debut novel is a story of how the inheritance of betrayals, secrets, memories, and even names can shape relationships and history. Deeply evocative and beautifully written, Black Cake is an extraordinary journey through the life of a family changed forever by the choices of its guys, happy Monday, even though it hasn't been so happy. The PMS is definitely happening. But it is for something I don't know. I did film today, so I have a ton of time to myself, like 48 hours time to myself. So I can read at like 2 in the morning if I wanted to. I'm not, because that's when I go to bed. Yeah, so I just went outside to take pictures, and we know that camera wouldn't bleep in focus. Yeah, a lot of F-bombs have been dropped in the last hour. I don't understand how my camera will focus in videos, audio focus, and then outside or even just anywhere, if I'm taking pictures of myself, it won't focus. So I tried even using the app that you can use through your phone to see what the camera's showing and tried to focus through that, and that wouldn't work either. I got some pictures of my face up close, but honestly, I'm like, I do not like that. That's not what I want pictures of. I want pictures of my outfit. This camera, the EOS M50, I don't recommend it at all. This was a waste of $650. I don't know why it won't focus. Like, I've looked and looked. I went on every setting and could not find anything. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to like go on. I like hate watching the tutorials. It's either people who do not have good audio doing the tutorials and I can't understand it, or robots. And I'm like, I can't like deal with either of those. So I've just had kind of a rough day, to be honest with y'all. I haven't read yet because, as I said, I can read whenever because I have just time. And I'm hungry. I really wanted to, like, I didn't have time because yesterday my dad was at the Panthers game, and I don't like ordering food on my own, especially when I'm alone. Like, don't murder me, don't rape me, thanks. So I want a pizza, but it's impossible to get one. Like, I'm going to have to wait till like Thursday, even though it probably won't even be then. But yeah, so I'm super hungry. I think I'm gonna make this chicken rice thing, even though that's not really what I want. I had really bad acid reflux earlier too, so like I shouldn't have tomatoes. Like, I want pizza, like tomatoes on pizza. But I'm rambling because I have not talked to anybody in hours, so I am going to shut up and go make dinner. I totally like didn't talk about what I wanted to talk about when I filmed earlier, but I just ate not my dinner. It was just kind of a snack, I guess. I don't know. I just had rice, but I'm gonna have a full meal with meat and vegetables and all of that later. So I want to show y'all the Amazon package today, so that I got today, because it's the last week of the month and that's when I do all my shopping, online shopping. Last week I had to buy a dog bed for Delilah, yeah, just so she could have multiple beds, and it came already open. Like, one of these, let's see, is the address on the side? No. So pretend like this would be lifted a little bit, but like the other would be taped down, and that happened again today. So just kind of weird, don't know what's up with that. So I did get a shirt, and this was like clothes and books. Like, that's something you don't really want to get wet. Like, a shirt's fine, like I can wash it, but still I don't like the thought of it being wet or whatever. Like, luckily it's not raining forever, but we are getting a hurricane middle of the week, end of the week, I don't know when. So this is one, my personal stylist. That makes me sound like so fancy, bougie. This is one of the tops that they suggested for me. I'm like, yeah, that they suggested for me, and I didn't get it on the month that it was suggested, but you still have the list if you go through Amazon personal styling and all. It's an off the shoulder, and it's by The Drop, which I have been really liking their stuff, but it's just kind of scrunched in the middle there and off the shoulder. I do want to show off my shoulders more, and that is something that I told them, because that is my smallest measurement on my body, is my shoulders. So I am bigger on the bottom, so I want to bring more attention to something that people probably wouldn't get the attention of, because they're going to be looking, like, my hips are my biggest measurement, so they're going to be looking at that. My hips are literally like double my shoulders. But how I got that Karen Slaughter book in Book of the Month, and then I found out that you need to read this one first, which is Pieces of Her. And this is, again, by Karen Slaughter, Mother, Hero, Liar, Killer, how you can tell when all you have is pieces of her. This is a Netflix series that I had never heard of until a video recently, but yeah, this is almost 500 pages, so I don't know when I'm gonna get to this. And then this was the fantasy novel that I tried to find at Barnes & Noble at the start of the month, and they just didn't have. I don't have any hardbacks by Orbit, so this is like fancy. But this is The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. Where is she from? Yeah, I thought it was somewhere Kuwait. Kuwait. Do I know anybody who's been there, like military people? I feel like I do. Everybody goes to, I thought it, like my dad pronounces it Qatar, but everyone I know in the military says Qatar. So I don't know which is the right way to say it, but yeah, I don't, Kuwait, I feel like I do, but I could be wrong. One is something funny. I know people in every branch, oh, like not counting the space. What is it called? What are the space people called? I don't know, but y'all know there's one with space. So like excluding that, I know people in every branch except the Navy. Like, Hangman, where are you? Yeah, I want to go back to Annapolis. One, it was cool, and I'm like, can I go to a Navy football game? Be like, who here is a pilot? Thanks. Top Gun. Okay, but yeah, I just wanted to show y'all what I got from Amazon.
I never make promises, cause I don't keep them. I already miss you. I never make promises, cause I don't keep them.
Oh, y'all can tell. Okay, you can. I totally just noticed this while reading outside, how it's like a flicker of a TV, and then the K like is faded out. I'm just noticing this, and I feel like I could add to the plot of what's happening. I don't know, I just think this interesting, and I haven't really seen a book have the lettering like that.
Cause I don't keep them. I already miss you. I never make promises, cause I don't keep them. I already miss you.
We are back inside now, so it was nice that I got to read outside. I did come in about 10 minutes early. I'm just covered in mosquito bites, so I sprayed mosquito spray, and then I brought my rubbing alcohol there with me and was just rubbing it on my legs because they're covered in bug bites. And then I got one right here, and then one really uncomfortable one on the bottom of my foot. So like when I was wearing my shoes, so painful. I was wearing sandals, so that's like why I got bit. With this cold weather that's coming, it's going to kill the mosquitoes. I did kill one, which was nice. I only got 34 pages read today, but again, I did not have that 3 o'clock reading hour. I intended to read after I filmed it. It just didn't happen, but it's fine. I mean, realistically, I have all day, so I can have the lights on all day because my dad hates that I waste energy so much. It's so bad. Actually, a house in my neighborhood got there's others with these, but solar panels, which is pretty cool. Yeah, but yeah, I'm at 25% now. I hit myself in the face. I don't really have any thoughts yet. I'm like, this is fine. So it's probably going to be a 3-star because I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's fine. It's a fine reading experience. There's nothing bad with it. I have my theory on who I think the killer of the, because it's, so the girl, the main character, Chloe, her dad was a serial killer back in 1999, literally July 1999. I'm like, that's when I was born. Crazy. But that's when he did all his killings, was like summer of 99, or at least the killings that we know of. I'm assuming there might be more because with killers it can be like that. But we are now in 2016. I think we're in like modern day, and they girls are starting to go missing again, and it's kind of like a copycat of what her dad was doing. So spoilers, and then I will go to the next timestamp if you don't want spoilers. I think it's the brother. I think the brother is killing these girls. Watch it be the boyfriend, the fiance, because he's like away on a business trip in New Orleans. So I'm like, what if he's not and he's killing people? I just thought of that. That could be a possibility. Who knows, but I will see y'all later. Hey guys, so it is 9 o'clock now. We are going to begin into my mood read, and that is Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. It's 34 pages last night. I honestly don't remember if I updated y'all. I don't think that I did, but maybe so. I don't know how I'm feeling about this so far. I mean, again, I'm only 9% into this. It's 400 pages, which is exactly the cutoff for mood reads for me. Yeah, both of these books that we have read so far today are books that are what people think are some of the best books from Book of the Month this year. I actually don't know how they choose who gets on that list. I don't know if maybe it's the books that got chosen the most or what. Not a whole lot of thoughts so far, but I'm going to read for the next 30 minutes, and then we'll be getting updates on my ebook read tonight because I don't have to turn off the lights or any of that. It's gonna be with no makeup or anything, but still fun times. Let's do our update now. So I got to page 65, which is 31 pages read for Black Cake today, and 16%. Now, my thoughts. This is my like only one thought so far reading the whole book, is that it's just a bit like all over the place like the Elvis movie was, and I'm just like, it's choppy, I should say. That's just how the writing is, the plot is that it's choppy, all over the place, and I'm like, I can't really get connected because it's not flowing well, I guess would be another way to put it, and that's my only complaint so far. So still, it's like a 3-star at the moment. I feel like this is how all books start. I don't know, sometimes you know it's gonna be great. I would love to see what the books last year were, and maybe the year before as well, to see if I have read any of those. I know the year Daisy Jones came out, I think that was 2019, it won Book of the Year, maybe. And then I think a Christian Hannah won one before. I don't know if you can see if there's a list anywhere for that, but it's 9:44, so I am going to go take my bath and take off my makeup, and then I'm going to edit this vlog, the first 3 days of it, and then start reading at like 10:45. About to get into my ebook. Let me show y'all which one it is going to be. It's going to be, I don't know how to say this, NOS 4A2 or NOS 4A2. I am not sure, but this is by Joe Hill, and I need to stop. When I have a book that's over 500 pages on my TBR, I need to stop buying it physically and just get the audiobook or ebook. That's what I need to start doing, because like, I don't know. And then if I enjoy the audiobook or ebook, get the physical copy. But let me tell y'all what this is about. So, Joe Hill, the acclaimed award-winning author of the New York Times bestsellers Heart-Shaped Box and Horns, plunges you into the dark side of the imagination with a thrilling novel of supernatural suspense. So Victoria Vic McQueen has an uncanny knack for finding things. When she rides her bicycle over the rickety bridge in the woods near her house, she always emerges in places she needs to be. Vic doesn't tell anyone about her unusual abilities. So that's just our first paragraph there in the description. This is a horror, and I am going to be focusing on horror in October. Since we finished my September ebook early, that's why I'm already getting into my October one, so this will be the main one in October. And I'm hoping to read 5% in this sitting. This film at such an awkward angle. So I got to 5%, which gets me to, let's see what page, which got me to page 34. That's like the second time today we've read something being 34 pages. So let me put this into Goodreads. This does read very much like a horror movie. Like, I always laugh in horror movies, Don't know if that's ideal. So on Goodreads it says 4%, but on the Kindle app it says 5%. So that's only the thing. But yes, I have laughed, and it gives those 80s vibes, because the first scene was in 2008, I think, and then it goes back to the mid to late 1980s, and that's where we are right now. But tomorrow looks like we're going to be going into the 90s. So yes, I am enjoying this so far, but we will get more updates on this tomorrow. And then after this clip, I'm going to put how many pages we have read in the first half of the vlog. So this is going to be something I start doing now. Hey guys, so I think this will be better lighting right here because I'm outside. Welcome to Tuesday. We're about to get into reading. Literally the high today is 80 degrees, so it is fantastic weather out here. I'm going to see what the exact temperature is. It is 78 degrees, which is perfect, perfect, perfect. I am loving it. So we're going to get into, if you can see that, a flicker in the dark, and I will give you all my thoughts when I'm done reading. I just got done reading, and I read over 30 pages in that sitting, which is very good compared to how much I read yesterday. I was kind of bored, to be honest with y'all. So it is a thriller, so hopefully stuff starts happening. I mean, people are being murdered and are going missing, but I'm just kind of bored. Don't know. Yeah, I'm just starting to think thrillers aren't for me, but like 2 years ago I was saying the same thing about romance, so it's an ever-going cycle here. But I did get my Target package, or one of my Target packages. It came a day early and everything. Let me tell y'all, Target has the fastest shipping out of anybody over Amazon. Everybody do have a Amazon package as well. Let's see, how do I get into this? Where is the opening thing? Okay, this is kind of a weird purchase, but magnesium soap. I have heard that putting it, this is an old wives' tale, that putting it under your bed sheet, like where your legs are, will help with leg cramps, restless legs, all that, which I get all that. And I mean, it's only occasional when I get it. I had restless legs on like Sunday. I had it sometime recently, and it used to be a whole lot worse, but magnesium has helped in the past with it, but not in soap form. We're gonna try this because I've heard about this old wives' tale forever, and hopefully it works. So that is the kind that I got, but let's get into the Target package now. I think we only have about 2 things in here, or no, I see 3. Ooh, I did not know I was going to be getting that bodysuit today, or in this package anyway. So I got this cardigan, and oh my gosh, it is so soft, and I didn't expect it to be so like oversized, but this is part of my color palette. It's out of all the clothes I got, this is the one that matches my color palette the most. So I got a size small from A New Day, and it was $28, and I did get a discount on all this with my Target Circle. I don't remember off the top of my head what the discount exactly was, but I got this on discount. So yes, we have this cardigan, and it's literally so soft. I used to think Target's clothes were really stiff and all. They have definitely improved their game, and obviously there are so many brands at Target. You just have to find the ones that work for you, because there are still some that don't work for me. But then I did get this bodysuit. Now this is the one least, like, they're all in my color palette, but this is the one the most far out there, as it is darker. I'm sorry, Penny is barking at, as I told y'all, I think I told y'all, some of my neighbors are getting solar panels put on their roof, and the workers are like talking as they do it, and Penny thinks they shouldn't be doing that. So I got this long bodysuit, and again, it's by A New Day, but this one doesn't have the price. So again, I got a size small. It's like a thick material, so perfect for winter. And again, this is by A New Day. And I'm going to pair it. Well, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have already seen what I'm going to do, but I will be wearing these all in October. And then the last thing I got in this package is a vase, which I do need to open out of another box, but I will show y'all it later. Here's the amber vase that I got. I'm gonna put some fall flowers in here, or maybe, I don't know, some kind of floral piece. I don't know if exactly they're gonna be flowers, because I know like wheat, the look of wheat looks cool, but I saw this vase on our Blessed Life That channel, and I don't know what size I got, but this is it. And if you guys would like a link to anything, let me know, and I will be sure to send y'all a link in the reply comment. It is 6 o'clock now, so I am back out to reading. I'm hoping the mosquitoes won't be as bad today, because the Bugman exterminator? Is that what they're called? The official word? I don't know, nobody ever says that. But so he came today, so hopefully that kind of spooked them off. And then I am wearing my long sleeve jacket, flannel, I don't know what to call it, but I'm wearing that. And then I put on sweatpants over my shorts, so basically only my face and my feet and hands are out, and I hope that this somewhat prevents the mosquitoes. An icon in the wild. Oh, picking up the vase, going into a trot. I feel like she needs to go to the bathroom. And I'm gonna scream when that happens. The icon, love her. Hi, Penny. She's like, can you see I'm busy? Sorry.
I never make promises, cause I don't keep them. I already miss you. I never make promises, cause I don't keep them. I already miss you.
We are back inside, obviously lights, but I read 69 pages, so I got to page 171, so let's put that into, or hold on, or is that 79 pages? Math, I don't know, I'm not good at it. But yeah, it's a 3-star. It's a fine read. I'm liking it. Like, I'm enjoying my time reading it. I am gripped. I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know who is doing the killings, that kind of thing. 171, but I feel like that's my theory, then that's really out there. And we got to 47%, by the way, minus, yeah, so I read 79 pages in here today. Right there. So I don't think we're gonna get into the ebook tonight, which is good in a way, because I am watching a movie tonight. I don't know if my friends are going to watch it eventually. I don't know if we're all gonna watch it together. Sarah and I watched the Elvis movie last week. I told you all about that last week, so I was like, that was really fun getting to like talk about a movie with someone when we watched it the same day. So I'm just wanting to do that more. And the generator, because there were like 3 movies that I'm really interested in right now, and Charlie Says is the one that came up, and it has Matt Smith in it and Grace Van Dien and a lot of other people, and I'm like, I love both of them. So I'm excited. It's like some of the girls who were in the Manson family when they were in prison, this woman came to get their side of the story, basically to write a book about it. And I really do, from thinking about it, not really knowing really about them, I do think these were young girls, like teenage girls, maybe early 20s, who were really manipulated by this man and basically brainwashed into killing people or being associated with that. So it's just going to be interesting to see the point of views of people who were involved in the killings and seeing if they do deserve justice, like if they deserve the punishment that they got, is what I meant to say. But yeah, so I'm cooking dinner right now. I'm boiling some shrimp, and then I'm gonna have some leftover butter beans, lima beans to those of you who are not Southern, but I saw that British people call them butter beans too, which is kind of interesting. And then some chicken flavored rice that I got. It is time to get into black cake now. I am freezing. It's fall, guys, it's fall. Okay, this is getting easier to read, but it's still a bit like jumping all over the place. So I got to page 101. Oh my gosh, it took me the same amount of minutes as yesterday to read it. So that was 36 pages. I read 115 pages today, our first day of this week from September 26th to October 2nd. Getting over 100 pages, so that's always nice. But yeah, just, it is getting easier, but at the same time, I am having like it's all over the place, so I am at 29%. I'm liking the then timeline better than the current timeline, but that can always change. It does for me. But I'm going to go do my nighttime routine and then watch the movie Charlie. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So it's back to me not being home alone, and I'll admit I had a good 2 days. I honestly was scared that I'd be anxious the whole time, but no, I had a fantastic time. I slept amazing. Like, I did not want to get up this morning because, well, I got up at like 7 something, walked Penny, and then went back to sleep and then woke up again at like noon. I did not want to get up then, but I was like, it's noon, I need to get up. But yeah, we have a tropical storm warning now, and that is interesting. I don't know what to say about that, but there is a tropical storm warning as Ian is getting closer. It's hitting Florida right now, and the water on there in Fort Myers, oh my gosh. I'm like, the ocean's claiming the city, which I know it's in the Gulf of Mexico, not the Atlantic, but still. Let's talk about the movie I watched last night. So Charlie Says, I don't like how I talked about it yesterday, because I didn't know that much about it, because I had never seen it and I only seen the trailer once. That movie left me feeling like sad and empty afterwards, so don't watch it as a feel-good, like, why would you watch a movie about murders for a feel-good movie anyway? But I mean, people watch horror movies for that, so you never know. Like the movie poster says, it says dreamers, victims, murderers, and that is exactly what these girls were. So these were the girls who, two of them were at the Sharon Tate murder, and the other was at the La Blanca, is that what it's called, what their name was, murder. And the movie is them in prison is the main point. And so California got rid of the death sentence because they were originally, you know, on death row. And it's like, okay, well, what do we do with these girls now that we don't have the death sentence? Do we keep them in like the solitary confinement basically, or do we put them out in the general population? But I don't remember if it was the governor or somebody else thought that they were still considered too dangerous to be put into the general population of the prison. But they want to make the girls stay there more comfortable. I mean, the guards love them and all of that. So they're like, let's bring them classes so they at least have something to do with their time and make it, you know, just because I do think the prison system does need a lot of that because these are still humans. So this woman, Carlene, comes in, and this is all true again. And Carlene wrote a book, so I'm going to look for it at Barnes & Noble on Saturday. I think Saturday's the 1st, but whenever we go again. And so Carlene goes in and she's amazed that this is however many years later, maybe like 3 years later, and they are still believing everything Charles Manson said. Like, they're like, if we weren't in here, Helter Skelter would be happening and we would be turning into elves with wings. We would be living in a cave while all this crazy stuff is happening outside. Like, they were all believing that still. So Carlene's just amazed by that. And the movie is really them coming to terms with what they did and that it wasn't all right, but that they were also victims in a sense. And like Carlene says, a lot of women she works with in that prison are victims themselves and of domestic abuse, because she talked about one instance where she was helping a woman who killed her abusive husband and her child was going into foster care. And like these girls, how I told y'all, they were young and manipulated, but obviously that doesn't make them murdering people okay. Killing people is not okay, but it's just them coming to terms with what they did and what everything Charles Manson said was not true, and that everything they did was for nothing. And so it was very sad. At the end I was just like, oh my gosh. And then obviously there were flashbacks to their time with Charles Manson, living at Spawn Ranch and that kind of thing. But we're going to get into Flicker in the Dark now, starting on page 171 at 48%. I do need to tell y'all the new releases this week. So the first one is Leech by Hiran Ains, E-N-N-E-S, and then Shrines of Gaiety by Kate Atkinson. That is a historical fiction. And then we have Best of Friends by Camilla Shamsi. And I don't know what genre that is, but those are all of the books that I'm excited for today. And then I'll go and tell y'all other popular ones. And oh my gosh, let me show you something on the bottom of my screen. I've never seen it say this. This is Hurricane. Right there. Never seen it do that. It's time for the weekly Target haul. So Christmas is starting to appear in the Target dollar spot, which is like super exciting. It just makes me so happy. I could have bought so much, but I only bought 2 things and both were for $3. So we have this ceramic. They come in red, white, and green. So I will probably get a different one every week. But this is a nutcracker, and again for $3. It has gold detailing, and I am going to be putting everything, all the Christmas stuff is going to go on my bookshelves. And then I got these pink reindeer. They're a 3-count plastic reindeer, again for only $3. I'm really liking the pink theme for decorations. I saw some Halloween stuff, but I wanted these ceramic like village houses I had for Valentine's. I saw that they were doing them for Halloween. Now they're not pink, they're orange and black, but I did not see them at my Target, but I have been seeing them on Instagram. So I like the pink for the holidays because it goes with my theme of my room and all of that. So in September, this is the last Target trip of September, but in September I was buying thrillers. So I picked up this one that I saw earlier in the year, but only in hardback, and I personally prefer paperback, and it is a historical thriller. So I talked about earlier, I think it was earlier in this vlog, that historical thrillers might be more my jam because I have been having a hard time getting into thrillers lately, and this is a big one, but it's, I think, after World War I and in Texas, and Texas settings have never let me down. Like all my favorite books take place there. So y'all saw the amber base that I got in the mail yesterday. So I got these eucalyptus stems to put into it, and they're from Hearth and Hand, and were both $3.99, and the book was 20% off of the $17.99. So do the math there. Then I got these 2 ceramics, because I had that little ceramic bird that I got when the fall, or when the Halloween stuff just started coming out. I didn't know it's a whole little line, so both of these were $5, but a ghost and a black cat, and then a little pumpkin. And then we did get Delilah some more dog toys. This one fell when I was getting the others, and I know she's had these in the past, so I know they're a success. And then another purple stick, which she loves, and then this, which is by Kong. And then this is like the Target version from Boots and Barkley, which is a like blue version, so they're supposed to look like logs or whatever. But that is everything that I got at Target this week. I read 68 pages, which gets me to 66%. And I think my theory, you can go to the spoiler tab, like click it down below if you want to hear it. I definitely think it is true now, like all the evidence is there for it to be true. It just seems way out there for something like that to happen. But I mean, it is fiction. I am enjoying it, but I don't even know if I should say enjoying it. Like, it's fine. I'm not hating it. That's what I should say. I'm not hating it. And that is the update for this. I would go into the book releases, but I need to restart the Wi-Fi. I'm just thinking, this hurricane coming. Yeah, I told y'all there was a tropical storm warning right now, or watch right now. That's gonna be fun putting up with this Wi-Fi with a hurricane. I think I updated y'all last night because it was sort of like boom 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 of getting things done. But I read 103 pages yesterday, 35 of those being in Black Cake. And I am enjoying Black Cake more and more. We are in London in 1965 now. That's where that chapter ended, and now we're going back to the present day. And I have been enjoying it more, so I'm happy about that. So hopefully it continues to get better and better. But we're about to get into A Flicker in the Dark, and we will be starting on page 239. The storm is starting to get here, the hurricane. The coast is upgraded to a hurricane warning. They are expecting several feet of storm surge, and then where I am, we're expecting flooding and all of that. It has started raining when I was out there with Delilah. It's so cold. It's 65. I know to some people it's not cold at all, but to me that is freezing. We prepared our yard. We got all our stuff in, strapped down, that kind of thing. I had to move all my plants inside. So their hurricane prepping was going on. I am gonna go get a pizza later so I can have something to eat throughout the storm, like something, you know, and y'all know I've been wanting a pizza this whole vlog. So I'm gonna go to Domino's later, and I have not been to this Domino's location before. It is a new one, so that should be fun. I know, getting a pizza, fun, right? But I'm gonna get into my reading now. Something I've been meaning to say about A Flicker in the Dark, and I do think it's playing a bigger role in the story now, is that we have a bit of an unreliable narrator, as our character is prescribing herself drugs because psychologists in 3 states, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Illinois, they can prescribe drugs. So she prescribes them like to her fiance, but she's actually the one taking them. And a lot of the times they're being mixed with alcohol, which can cause a lot of stuff in your head. Maybe like hallucinations and paranoia, that kind of thing. I do think that might play a part in this. Don't know for sure which way it could play a part. I do think that is interesting though, because unreliable narrators are interesting to read. Not one of my personal favorite things to read, but I do think it is an interesting look at the human mind. I started collecting what my mood reads will be for October. So in October I'm focusing on horror. I cannot find one of them, which is The Village. It is a Polish horror. It's translated. I cannot remember the author, but I looked on all my shelves and cannot find it. So my guess is it's in that big stack of books, the big stair stack that I have of books that I don't have room on my bookshelves for. But I went through those on Tuesday and I don't remember seeing it, but it could still very well be there. We just have 3 here when I usually like to have 4 in a stack, so obviously I will continue looking for that book. But the first one is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. He's, I feel like, going to be on a ton of people's spooky season TBRs, and this is quite a popular book. So a tale of revenge, cultural identity, and the cost of breaking from tradition, and the latest novel from the Jordan Peele of horror literature, Stephen Graham Jones. Yeah, we have that one. I've read a novella by him, and because it was a novella, I feel like that's not really giving him a whole chance completely, because I don't read that many novellas. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I feel like having a whole novel will do better for me. Now this is a new release, and that is The Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. This is in the 80s. There's heavy metal involved, so that's just something that I really like. So a cleverly voiced psychological thriller about an unforgettable and unsettling friendship with blood-thrilling, I can't talk, crackling wit and thrumming pulse in its veins, from the nationally best-selling author of The Cabin at the End of the World and Survivor's Song. We have that. And then lastly, another kind of heavy metal one, an author who is a local author for me, and one that an author that we'll probably see on a lot of people's spooky list, and that is We Sold Our Souls by Grady Hendrix. So only a girl with a guitar can save us all. Every morning, Chris Pulaski, I'm like, I literally know how to say that, wakes up in hell. In the 1990s, she was lead guitarist of Dirt Work, a heavy metal band on the brink of breakout success, until lead singer Terry Hunt embarked on a solo career and rocketed to stardom, leaving his bandmates to rot in obscurity. those are my choices. Stephen Graham Jones, I've given one shot before, but My Best Friend's Exorcism was not a huge fan of. But they are making a movie, and Bash from Glow's gonna be in it, and I'm like, love him. So I might pick up the movie. And again, it's local. I was familiar literally everywhere in it, streets, cities, all of that. I'm like, I know all of this. But yeah, I haven't got my food yet because the car battery decided to, something was wrong with the battery and we had to get a new battery. And I was like, it was a bad day for it to do it. But if I think about it more, when the hurricane's gonna be in full force tomorrow, I feel like today was a better day to have the car have issues. But yeah, the lights are starting to flicker here. Wind is picking up. It's happening. Ian is coming in. My hoodie and all. I read 60 pages and here today getting to 83%. And why is she hooking up with this guy? Like, I hate when there's this like, let's throw in romance for people who haven't really shown any signs of it this whole time. I'm like, I'm not here for that. And that's like in horror movies when there's only some random sex scene. I'm like, why? Why? You're like, could be killed and you're just out here hooking up. I hate it. But yes, this is definitely getting better. I'm really like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? So yeah, still a 3-star. But I do want to do my special announcement, as you can see by the title. So my special announcement is we are not going to have weekly vlogs in October because October does start on Saturday. I will be daily vlogging in October for Vlogtober. So you're going to be getting a vlog every single day, and they're only going to be like short vlogs. They're not going to be the long, almost hour-long vlogs that you typically get. So in October, it's going to be daily vlogs every single day. There we go. And I'm done reading for the day. I just read 51 pages, so that's like 111 pages on the day. I'm really happy that I got over 100 pages today, but I am ending the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And if you made it through the whole video, leave a cake emoji in the comments below. This is definitely turning into my favorite book that I'm reading right now. So it's moving up towards a 4-star rather than a 3. But I will see you next week. Bye! Or not next week because I'm going to be daily vlogging. So see y'all on the 1st.